Greetings, denizens of the digital world. It is I, the Serial Killer, coming to you today on day 238 of the year of vlogging dangerously. And today brings me to a revelation. I had expressed the thought earlier in the day that I wanted to learn French. You know, not because I really see myself ever going to France or spending too much time in Quebec, but it's a very useful skill in the military. From a leadership perspective, it's useful because if you have somebody who has trouble expressing themselves in English because French is their their first language, being able to at least converse in their native tongue is kind of good. But I'll tell you what, I've coincidentally came across a video that proclaimed this amazing new way to learn language in 10 days. 10. There's other hands here. 10 days. They claim that for 30 minutes a day, if you take 30 minutes a day to do this Pimsleur technique, or this Pimsleur approach, you will be able to learn any language in 10 days. Yeah, I'm going to call bullshit on that. It sounds scammy as hell. It's one of those scammy little videos where it's like, I'm so-and-so, and I'm going to teach you this technique. It's the same bullshit thing I've seen pickup artist shit for. It's not an approach on how to market something to me. It's only a 2-minute video. Or I'd say it was a 10-minute video, a flash video that you can't fucking pause or anything. So if you really want to learn what the fuck it's about, because it never even tells you anything about it till halfway through, you gotta watch the whole thing. So I'm watching, I'm bored, I'm like, watching along, and they're like, it only takes 30 minutes a day. Your brain does this, your brain does that, your brain does this. And then they finally introduced Dr. Pimsleur. He was a big research guy back in the 70s. Apparently the Einstein of linguistics, because he thought outside of the box. Yeah. So his approach is basically to listen to interactions in the language. You listen and interact with the language. You don't learn to read it or write it or anything like that. You just native speaking situations. And I can see that, I guess, you know, if the proper backup is there. But then I do a little bit more research and I find this blog of a guy who calls himself the Irish Polyglot. So he's an Irish guy who knows many languages. And his quest is to learn new languages continuously and within 3 months each language. Kind of a cool, badass quest if you're good with languages. I have a facility for English, not much for other languages at this point, but it's cool. He reviewed it and said, yeah, he can see some merit to it, but it's very situationally specific. It's like it basically puts you in the role of a father and a husband. And you talk about your daughter or your son. And you talk with your wife and ask her if she would like something to eat. And that doesn't sound anything like anything that's a context that's relevant to my life or most people's lives. Now, when it was developed, it was developed in a time, as this man points out, when it was developed at a time when business people were the primary people who would need to learn other languages because people just didn't travel unless it was on a vacation to somewhere fancy, right? Like they just didn't travel. And now people go everywhere. People travel. Anybody can travel virtually who's got a little bit of scratch. So it's a very outdated technique. It's kind of scammy. It's $9.95 for a lesson that will apparently guarantee in 10 days you can speak this language. It's almost tempting to pick this shit up just to see if in 10 days I can pick up French, German, Italian, and then Spanish. Because those are the order on the site I'm looking at right now. I don't know. Your call. You know, your call if you're to actually benefit from this. I think personally it would be nice to learn a few other languages. Yeah, I'm working with a young woman now that's got 3 languages on her profile. Yeah, Spanish, English, and Japanese. Yeah, because she learned it on the way to Japan. Now that's the kind of learning I'd like to do. Yeah, she's picking up French now too. So it's like, yeah, that's the kind of thing I'd love to be able to do. And apparently their representation of Germany is a unicycling juggler. Yeah, because that's what I think of when I think of Germany. Anyway, I've rambled long enough about other languages badly in English, so I'm going to let you go now. And, well, you've probably gone already at this point, most likely, if you're even watching at all. So, as usual, I've been the Serial Killer. Questions, comments, concerns, death threats. You know where to put them in the comment section below. I'll talk to you tomorrow.